What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another video on the channel. So, we got ourselves a new little car added into the game, and it's the little Alpine. Is it called an Alpine or an Alpine? I'm just gonna call it an Alpine, because I feel like that it's probably called Alpine. I don't even know. Either way, I've heard people call it both ways. I've heard people call it Alpine, and I've heard people call it Alpine. So whatever comes out in this video, that's probably what I'm going to say. Like, I don't really care. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. It's an adorable, modern little sports car. Obviously, it's a remake of an old Renault Alpine sort of crossover thing that we've had in the past. Now, the car itself, if I go all the way over to Renault, you'll be able to see it. It's right here. It's very, very cool. It's a classic. Obviously, if you see one of these on the road, they're very, very rare. So they're very, very, very cool. Now, of course, like I said, this is a modern version of it. So this came out in 2017. So it's a 2017 model. I actually managed to see one of these in real life when I went to the Geneva Motor Show. And it's a cool little car. It's a cool little sports car. I honestly would rather have one of these over an MX-5. I'm not entirely sure what the price range is for this compared to an MX-5, but because it's small, it's lightweight, it has a little engine, I'm gonna say they're comparable. But I would honestly have one of these over an MX-5. I feel like it's a lot rarer. It's, I think, cooler looking. It's a lot more modern looking. It's just nice. It's probably like the only French car. Okay, not counting Bugatti, I guess, because it's technically not really French, but I guess it is French. Other than all those cars, this is probably the only French car I'd ever own, or I'd ever buy. This and obviously the classic Alpine. It's just such a cool little car, in my opinion. And now it's in Forza Horizon 4, so I thought I'd go ahead and mess around with this thing to see what we can do to it. Obviously, it comes as a rear-wheel drive, so we can have loads of fun throwing this about. It doesn't have a ton of power. I think it's only got like around 250-something horsepower, if I remember correctly, when I looked at the stats of this thing. So it can't really do too much, but only weighs, I think, 1,100 kilos. So it's pretty decent power to weight ratio for a little sports car. Obviously, in real life, it's a lot better. And it's a lot more noticeable. The speed, obviously, in a video game is a little bit different. But overall, I think the car itself just looks great. That's why I'm going to smash it into this wall here. Anyway, let's go ahead and modify this thing, because obviously that's what we're here for. I'm going to go ahead and do some things to this car and hopefully make it so it's not stock. Because obviously we don't like to drive anything stock on this channel. So let's go to the festival and let's change this thing. I was thinking of going something like all-wheel drive, with high horsepower. So yeah, we could probably use it for a bunch of different things. I'm gonna guess I'm gonna guess there's no visual changes to this car because it's technically a new car. I don't think there's any sort of body kits or anything like that that we can actually adjust or change on this car in real life. So I'm gonna guess there's not many in this game. We only have one engine. Oh, it's the rally engine. Okay, I'm gonna see what sort of horsepower we can squeeze out with the center engine. So yeah, it is 248 horsepower. This obviously is a 1.8. It looks turbocharged by the way the graph goes, the torque distribution pretty much, just the way it comes in under boost there. So it looks turbocharged from that graph. Here it looks like the boost comes in a little bit earlier. Again, it will change once I sort of modify this thing. It also revs higher. I think the rally engine is just better, I think. It's only a 1.6 and this is only a 1.8. But I think I'm just going to put everything on and see how much power we can squeeze out of the stock engine, and then I'll go ahead, I'll change to the rally engine, which is most likely going to be a lot better, and we'll see how much power we can squeeze out through that. Now, of course, like I said, this thing won't be able to have thousands of horsepower, but it's expected. So it's still 1,100 kilos, 538 horsepower, 619 newton meters of torque. Displacement goes up to 2.4. Now, if I go ahead and change this thing to the rally engine, again, we will change this thing to all-wheel drive, which will make it heavier, but it's okay because we're going to make it a lot faster now. 668 horsepower, 926 newton meters of torque, and now it's a 2-liter and it weighs less. So yes, we're definitely going to go with the rally engine for this thing. So it should be a little bit nicer to drive now. Now this is also a mid-engine rear-wheel drive. It's not front engine, so the whole weight distribution is going to be a little bit different. It should be, yeah, so it's 44% to the front. If I go with all-wheel drive, it will change to 46% to the front. So it's a little bit closer to 50-50 weight distribution. It will obviously make it heavier. But I think with all this power, I think I should be able to control all of that. I will, however, put on some snow tire compound. Get some snow tires going for this thing. And I don't really know if I want to go ahead and make the tires a lot bigger, because I do kind of want to go ahead and slide this thing, and I want it to be actually decent off-road as well. So I think with the suspension, I'm also going to go with like rally suspension, and we'll see what we can do with that. But I'll change the track width slightly. It is slightly cambered here. I'm not going to do too much there. Can we put rally suspension? Yes, we can. We can even put drift suspension on this thing. We can even put drift suspension on it. I'm kind of tempted to put drift suspension on it now, because we can. And it's all-wheel drive. It's S1. It's the top of S1. Can we actually use this thing to slide, to drift with? If we're doing that, then I'm going to go ahead and change my tires to sport instead of this. I was thinking of just turning this thing into like a little rally car. But drift suspension just... I honestly didn't think this would have drift suspension. I don't know why, for some reason. Now it weighs less than a ton. That's pretty impressive. That is very, very impressive. Our top speed has also gone up quite a bit now, because of all these parts. So then if we can go ahead and drift this thing, I'm not going to put race tires on. I'm just going to go back to the standard tires that we had on before. And we'll see what the grip is like on this, and then we'll probably change our tire width actually on the front. I'll go with 235s on the front and 255s on our rear, and we'll see what that's like now with the setup. As for our wheels, let's have a look at some aftermarket wheels and see if I can find anything that I like on this thing. I was honestly thinking of going like rotorform, like stance style with this. I don't know. Some of the wheels actually suit this. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I don't think we can go ahead and lower this anymore, but if we change the size of these rotorforms to, what, to 19s. This actually doesn't look that bad when it's like stanced out. I kind of like this thing. I kind of like this. I honestly didn't expect to put like drift suspension on this guy. I honestly wanted to go ahead and just turn this thing so I can go ahead and rally it a little bit. We can't go any lower than it actually is now. Our differential, I'm going to go ahead and obviously lock it fully. So we'll do that. Front and rear the same. I'm going to go ahead and also change my torque distribution. So we have 80% going to the rear wheels. We'll see what that's like when we drive it. Everything else I'm going to leave pretty much stock. We'll have a look and see what the transmission is like. We'll mess around with our tire pressure as well if we really need to. But for the moment, I'm going to just leave it the way it is. This legit looks very, very nice with some rotorform wheels on it. I really did not expect that at all. Looks good lowered. It really does. Wow. Big space there. Yeah, let's go ahead and slide this thing. Let's go ahead and slide this little car. All-wheel drive drifting with a little Alpine. Okay. It still feels like it's got a lot of power going to the front wheels. Because this is mid-engine, it will handle a little differently. This is definitely not going to be great for going like uphill, for example, if you do decide to take it onto the, which I will be. I'm going to take it on the needle climb. But it's not going to be great for going uphill. I think this might be a little bit better as a rear-wheel drive, but honestly, like I said, I wanted to turn this into all-wheel drive just so I could go off-road with it, but... Okay, our gear ratios need to be shortened slightly. Just a tiny bit. We don't really need that much. Not much for top speed, so I want third gear to sort of be a little bit faster. Okay, it's a little better now. It's definitely a lot better now. Okay, I'm taking it to Fortune Island. We're gonna go ahead and slide this thing. I just want to see what it's like. I honestly feel like I wanted, like I said, to make this thing like a little rally car. But now lowering it and putting on drift suspension, it actually does drive kind of nice. It actually does drive kind of nice. Again, going downhill is definitely going to be a lot better than going uphill. Uphill, I don't think I have enough power to be able to push myself that hard. But coming downhill, though, I feel like it should be a little bit easier. Anyway, let's try that out. I think I'm going to go ahead and also put a little bit more power going to the rear wheels. That's one thing I'm going to change on this. So let's change that now from the split of 2080 to 1288. Okay, I like this a little better. It definitely feels a lot more rear biased. Feels like a little rally car. It feels like a little rally car. I mean, it is in its pedigree. So I'm pretty sure the original Alpine or original Alpine was also used in some rally stages, if I'm not mistaken. It's so simple to drive though. Like, I haven't really done much to this car. You guys have seen exactly what I've done to it. I don't know how much the road surface is changed because it is the winter season. So I'm not sure if the road is actually a lot slippery, a lot more slippery or a lot slippier than what it is when it's like during summer or the other seasons. But with the setup that's on now, all-wheel drive drifting in this thing is an absolute breeze. It actually is just so easy. There we go, finally spun it for the first time. Or I sort of threw it in a little bit too hard. I am very impressed with this thing. 471,000 points. 471 from a car that, like, makes what? About 600 horsepower. That is very impressive. I'm actually really liking this car. And I'm not even on, like, any sort of simulation steering or anything like that to fully go for points. I just wanted to show you guys how easy this thing is to slide. And if you do decide to go for points, it's very easy. I needed to go a lot wider for this corner here. I went a little bit too slow. Yeah, it just doesn't have that power. Just a little bit of a clutch kick will help this thing a long way. All that power though, that just isn't there. I think this car with about 1,000 horsepower would be ideal for this section. For this whole downhill. I feel like it'd be very good. And obviously with a better tune than what I have now, because right now I don't really have a tune. It's super simple to drive. I really enjoyed this little car. Didn't really build it for exactly what I had intended to build it for. But I don't regret it. I definitely do not regret this thing. Does have the power to put down some good points. Here goes my internet connection. 479. I like this thing. I like this car. I like it as a drift car. I think it's a fun, well, not as a drift car, but like as an pretty much all-wheel drive sliding around little thing just to mess around with. It's an enjoyable little car to drive, especially in the winter season. But yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it there. If you guys enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like it, share it, comment, do whatever you guys want. But for now, that's it from the little Alpine, the little Alpine that they added into the game. I'm very happy with the way this thing drives and the way it turned out. With a little bit more tuning, I think this could be an even better car, of course. But obviously I just wanted to see what it was going to be like as a rally car, and obviously I ended up building it as a little all-wheel drive mess around drift car. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys very much for watching today's video, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.